So we're all connected by this unsolved murder from 7 years ago?
It seems odd that none of us knew, assuming we were all telling the truth.
Which makes it really strange, doesn't it?
What do you mean?
If we are telling the truth, shouldn't we be more worried about whoever wrote this note? That's right, they've orchestrated this whole thing. They know everything about us, and they've brought us together.
For what purpose?
Perhaps they think one of us committed the murder 7 years ago. And perhaps this is how we will all find out what really happened.
Well, I didn't commit the murder 7 years ago. She was my childhood sweetheart. I never would have harmed her.
No, but what if she had found someone else? You might have killed her in a jealous rage.
And mess up my moustache? I don't think so.
Well, what about your evidence at the time? You said you thought it was a cover-up. Why? It was just a suspicion. I couldn't prove anything then, and I certainly can't now.
Well, now seems as good a time as any to share what happened.
Our lives may depend on it. I think some evidence went missing.
Somebody stole evidence of a murder?
I think so, yes.
But who? And why?
I'm not sure who. Of course not, otherwise this would be too easy. And as for why they stole it, well, I suppose it implicated them somehow.
So you're not even sure how it's evidence?
Sounds like someone just lost something. No, when I arrived at the crime scene, I am certain that I saw 2 things that I couldn't find among all the evidence later.
And they were?
There were burnt scraps of paper in the fireplace, and the victim was holding a small key. So someone stole some burnt paper and a key from the murder scene? I think so.
Well, all keys look alike.
Not this one, it was very distinctive.
Was it small and silver with a deep blue heart-shaped gem on it?
Yes, that was it.
It's the key to a very special jewellery box I gave her as a gift long before anyone tried to kill me. Oh.
What do you mean, oh?
I may have something important to add.
Of course you do, and you all wonder why I drink so much.
When I went to the party as Lord Bletton's imposter, I had no idea that anyone there might actually know me. You mean me? Quite. When I met the hostess's sister, she spoke to me quite fondly, but quickly seemed to get rather upset and left the party. I didn't understand why at the time.
But she was upset because the person she thought was her childhood sweetheart
acted as though they'd never met her before. My poor love.
I wonder what happened to her next. I saw her go to her room. I watched her take papers from a box and throw them on the fire. But then my manager caught me. They threatened to fire me if I didn't return to doing my job. I often wonder what might have happened if I hadn't left her alone.
Which leads me to a question.
What's your question?
You say your manager threatened to sack you if you didn't return to the party?
That's right.
Did your manager return to the party too?
I'm not sure. I don't really remember.
Inspector, was the manager a suspect?
No, they had a cast iron alibi. At least 10 other waiting staff saw them at the party at the time of the murder. So the trail goes cold again.
No, we know the victim used the key to access the papers she burnt. Surely that's significant if those were the pieces of evidence stolen.
Yes, but what's more significant is why you never mentioned what you saw at the time. Well, I have good reasons.
What reason could you have to hide the fact you may have been the last person to see the victim alive?
Because I thought she might be my mother.
What?
Did not see that coming. My adoptive father implied that Lord Bletton was my real father, so I took a job at the party because I was also on the trail of my real mother. That's why I followed her from the party. But I didn't expect to find myself a suspect in her murder case. So you went to the party looking for answers and never even got to ask the questions.
I've got a few questions of my own right now, actually.